Hi, I'm here to talk about the Memory Moment signpost. Paying attention to the signpost will help you understand why characters do what they do. A memory moment is a point in the story when the author interrupts what's happening to show us a main character's memory. These moments from the past usually communicate something important about the character or the plot. Which makes sense, right? Because a lot of what we do as people is affected by what we've already seen, heard, and learned. For example, if your last coach was mean to you and your new coach has a similar voice, you may have trouble trusting her at first. Past experiences really shape us. Sometimes the clue that a memory moment is about to occur is obvious. The character will say something like, "I remember the first time my parents brought me there." Other times, the clue may be more subtle, like the way the room smelled reminded him of the hospital. In general, when you see words like remembered or reminded or phrases like used to or back when, slow down and look for a memory moment. When you find one, a good question to ask is, why might this memory be important? Let's take a look at an example and I'll show you what I mean. See if you can spot the memory moment while I read. The line at the snack counter moved slowly. Corey rolled his eyes impatiently. He hadn't even wanted to come to this movie with Jasmine. He was thinking about telling her he had to go to the bathroom and then just leaving. Then he spied a familiar face behind the counter. It was Julie, his cousin Marco's ex-girlfriend. That's right, she worked here. How could he forget? The last time Corey saw her was here when there'd been a bit of a scene. Marco and Julie had been close. He'd even brought her to some family events. But apparently Marco hadn't texted her all summer. At least that's what Julie started yelling as soon as she saw him. Her eyes filled with tears as she stormed away from the popcorn machine. Everyone turned to look at them, and Marco just stood there with this dumb smile on his face. Corey remembered thinking that if Marco had wanted to break up with her, he should have done it in a better way. Did you notice the memory moment? The clue is right here. How could he forget? The last time Corey saw her was here. The author interrupts the story to tell about Corey's memory of another time he was at this same theater. All this is stuff that Corey's remembering. We even get this extra clue, Corey remembered thinking. So now that I've found a memory moment, I ask myself, why might this memory be important? Well, this passage started with Corey thinking that he might walk out on Jasmine, but then he saw Julie and remembered how hurt and angry she had been when Marco dropped her. I think that memory is going to cause Corey to be more respectful to Jasmine than he might have been otherwise. He might end up breaking up with her, but I think he'll do it in a more mature way. This memory moment seems to make a pretty clear connection to the present action of the story, but there are going to be times when it's not as clear why the memory might be important. You should still ask yourself the question, though, why might this memory be important? It will help you notice details about the characters and plot as you keep reading.